think my significant moment came in the last game of the season, in that final game against Exeter. It was a moment that I was part of, where I made a tackle which led to a turnover, and I found it quite a significant moment in terms of how that game went. We'd had some good talk beforehand about how our defence was probably lacking and how we needed to be more aggressive and put the opposition under pressure. So we'd looked at a lot of footage and areas where we were left wanting in terms of that, and not being aggressive enough, not wanting it enough, not filling the field and going to get that ball back and so we earn the right to attack again. 2 weeks beforehand against Exeter, we felt pretty bullied by them, and we certainly weren't proud of the performance that was put in there and how that made us feel. So we wanted to certainly make a statement in the opening minutes of that Premiership final that it wasn't going to happen again. We knew that if we didn't put our foot down early on in the game, that we could lead to that result again. I suppose from my aspect as a fullback, it was my responsibility to really energise the team and the defensive line in front of me, and we also spoke about how I would be part of that defensive line more often. So I knew that there'd probably be more asked of me with the way that we wanted to defend than before, and I was really excited about that because I knew that it could be a really good strength of mine and to get myself in the line and make a dominant hit. And I'm glad that I suppose I wasn't left thinking, oh, I wonder what that would be like. I got a taste of that really early. I think we were within the first 10 minutes of the game and Exeter just had the ball and had possession, and we know that Exeter can hold on to the ball for a long time and we had to be patient. So what was really pleasing is that we hadn't conceded any penalties and we hadn't made any errors. We were still pushing them backwards, driving them backwards, and then there just came a moment where they moved it wide and they'd put a couple of long passes together which allowed me to come up into the front field, and they put sort of a bit of a floaty pass in. Winger caught it above her head, managed just to get her foot on the ground, and I put that tackle in and drove her back.
Looking to go wide, that's another huge hit. Sarah McKenna lining one up and dumping the Chiefs on the backside, and then with the penalty.
They got a penalty against them for coming off their feet at the ruck or holding on or something like that, but then it was just that moment where it was sort of like a backs penalty, a defensive penalty, which I suppose doesn't feel like it happens very often, and like I said, it'd be something we've been working on in training. It felt like a massive win for us. I got raps from the forwards, don't get me wrong, because they love a bit of that, but the backs knew that was something that had been working on really hard. So for us, that was sort of as good as a try. I think it did set a tone in terms of how we're not going to be bullied around this park. We're going to be aggressive in defence, and you're going to have to do something really special to beat this defensive line, and you're not going to want to give us that ball back, because if you do, we're going to be pretty devastating in attack, which we were.
Corrigan now, it's Marley Packer off the back again. Marley Packer, a brilliant second.
I suppose in terms of that day, we were just clinical all round, and we executed what we wanted to, what we said we would, and we went out and got it. Maybe it was a good thing that we lost so badly a few weeks prior, because it made us really dig deep and think about what we wanted to do and our identity and how we wanted to stick to that. And also, I suppose, prove a few people wrong. Typically we've been quite a slow starting team, but we didn't start slowly in that final, and I think there was a reason for that, and probably because we'd been burnt a few weeks prior. It felt really cool, like this time round. I think we just felt like so much more collected as a group, and I think that felt really good. I think we felt really calm on the pitch. I think we were in total control, we knew what we wanted to do, and I think when the final whistle went, it wasn't just ecstatic jubilation. It was like that was job done. Like, we executed that really well, and we all pulled together there and got the result obviously we wanted. And I suppose didn't want to be guilty this time of looking at the end result before it had been won. We knew that we had a massive task ahead of us, so I think everyone just come that final whistle, just then were able to think about the fact that we'd won something, and we were about to hold up the trophy and celebrate that. But until that final whistle went, I don't think many people had thought about it. So I think that's why it felt so different.